What's up, baby? Today's show is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Yeah, we talking about proper preparation. We're talking about trying to be better at life. How can we improve, right? Whether we're talking about just as an individual, how do we improve if we're talking about in the job space? I mean, whether we're talking about just all the different ways to be prepared for the next step, for that next task. Southern New Hampshire University and some of these online degree programs that they are offering. Come on, baby. You can't beat this. And they have super competitive low tuition rates that are, like I said, going to prepare you for whatever your next steps might be as it pertains to your professional career. It's not too late. I mean, shoot, what you waiting on? I mean, you're watching me, but what you waiting on? Come on, man. You see the link right there, right? snhu.edu/Arthur Moats. Tap in and go out here and get a chance to prepare yourself for greatness. But now it's time for regularly scheduled programming. Let's get to this first topic. You already know the drill. Hit the like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Let me take a sip of this here Drizzink, because I already know this about to be one of them ones. A little fun one deal. Here I was thinking it was going to be a casual Thursday. I'm going to get in here, talk some Hall of Fame inductees, next year's class, talk these RBs, little phone line, little chill day. And yeah, starts out early. Somebody hit my line. Hey, bro, you see this? It's a tweet. What the tweet say, bro? I said, all right. So I said, hold on, man. All right, I got to read the tweet, right? Make sure I pull the tweet up, all right? I ain't be a lazy journalist today. Be the real one. And it was, man, the Steelers will be trading their 2025 first and second round picks to the Jags for Trevor Lawrence. If they was interested, this would be crazy. Ryan Burr. I'm like, oh, hold on, man. Who the heck's Ryan Burr? I never heard of this cat before, man. I seen it was from somebody else. Like, hold on, bro. Whoa. So we start fact checking. Like, all right, bro. A lot of people talk about it. There's a lot of people giving it some legs, man. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. But then, hey, the Jags ain't got no GM. That don't make no sense. How they gonna make a move with no GM, bro? What's going on here? So then I was like, all right. It's a lot of different variables. But then you have multiple people from one side doubling down on it. Nah, man, it is this. And then you got the other side where they're like, nah, absolutely zero chance, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Y'all are just making up stuff. And because you're just making it up, you're just making it up. So I was like, all right, well, sounds like nobody can either confirm nor deny said report. So that's why I like my space, baby, because we don't break any news. No. We don't break news. We just react to it. So we're going to react to this hodgepodge of either you want to believe it or you're too cool and you don't want to believe it. Either way, or you too naive and you do believe it, or you too cool, you don't believe it, however you want to word it, but either way, we just going to play it for both sides. We going to see what that thing looks like. All right. So Trevor Lawrence. All right. Why would we be interested in him first off, right? Well, first things first is we know we have a quarterback situation right now where we're trying to figure out our answer at QB, the long-term answer, not the short-term, not a guy that we just want for a year. We want somebody that we can have for a long, long time, man. And obviously, when we're looking at age, talent, pedigree, production, all of that comes into focus when we're looking at that long-term decision on quarterback. Now, we know this all season. As the time continues to go, we keep getting different versions, different reports about the direction the team is going in. We said, I guess it's now 3 weeks ago when Mr. Rooney spoke to the private media group that he was talking to. He said that he wanted either Russ or Fields to be back, or at least be the priority to return. But he didn't think that both guys would be back, but he at least wanted one of those guys back. We obviously fast forward from there. We talked about Jay Glazer and how that took got a lot of legs up under it going into the Super Bowl when he said that the Steelers were, almost 100% not going to be bringing Russ back. And then it was also looking likely that Fields wasn't going to be returning either, but he did leave the door slightly ajar for a Fields return. So from there, we got the reports about Aaron Rodgers, him and the Jets. And this is obviously prior to the new information about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, where they've completely closed the door and they've said they're going to be releasing him. The news with that was, okay, will we be trading for Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Glenn and him they look like they're not seeing eye to eye. So now were looking to potentially go and find him. And the question was, could Aaron Rodgers and Coach Tomlin coexist? Would he fit in Pittsburgh? Then after that, you had Matthew Stafford name pop up as well, along with a ton of wide receivers that, people are saying we have some type of interest in, and then various reports returning saying that some of these same players that we're being linked to are also having interest in us as well. So you fast forward to this morning, obviously the Ryan Burr being the source, and like I say, he's a Big Ten guy. Not really sure how that connection is there, but this is what we do. It's that time of year. And unfortunately, or fortunately, due to just the way social media has, evolved, it's no longer just exclusive to that guy is the only guy that has the answer. It's no longer exclusive to because that guy works for that company, he has the answer. We've seen that now even in-house, where multiple people that we wouldn't deem as credible or we wouldn't deem as, oh, this is official, they've been right. And at the same time, we've also seen where some of the official credentialed members of the media are also right at times. But that's kind of this back and forth. So for people like us, now we're like, man, how do you definitively say this is accurate versus this is being definitively accurate? It's hard. It's really, really hard. And during this time of year where you're not getting definitive kill shots, being owners, coaches, GMs, or in some cases the players coming out and refuting or validating these reports, these, things that pop up, it does put you in a bind where you do have to acknowledge it in to varying degrees, depending on who you are. Spend some time with it. So for me, because we are very much interested in quarterback, and to me personally, Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback that I like a lot. Yeah, like when he was in Clemson. I ain't gonna lie to you. So because of that, it's like, yeah, I don't mind spending a little bit of time, man, talking about Trevor Lawrence, man. Now, granted, with that, there are multiple factors in this thing. We know Trevor Lawrence is on a 5-year, $275 million contract. Just signed that thing. Was that last year, if I remember correctly? Yeah. So that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. Let's see. And let me see what his cap hit, because he's at the front end of this deal. So yeah, that number is going to get pretty robust. Yeah, it said in 2025, Lawrence is set to take on a $17 million cap hit. But following that cap hit will raise to $78.5 million in 2029. So that's a couple of years on the back end of it. And the deal will hit its largest number in 2028 when the deal's largest hit before that is in 2028, the year prior to the $78.5 million cap hit. He'll have a $47 million hit. And they said that his deal has an out that offseason with zero dead cap. So you want to be able to get out of that deal until 2028 with him. So with that, you are kind of stuck in the sense that if he is not producing to the way that you like, or you change your mind on him prior to 2028, which would be, like I said, 3 seasons from now, you are on the hook financially. Or you're doing what the Broncos were doing with Russ last year, where he was playing for us for $1 million and they were on the hook for, $39 million. We don't like that approach either. We've done that before with Antonio Brown. We moved on from him, shipped him out to Vegas. Obviously, that was when we were paid, was it $20 million in dead money. So we don't want to do that. Not at all. But at the same time, there are parts of it where, yeah, it is intriguing. Man, Trevor Lawrence, we can have our personal opinions about, is he top 5? Is he a great quarterback or not? When you throw for 4,000 yards in the NFL on multiple seasons, you are a really good quarterback. We could take all the emotion out of it and just strictly from a numerical standpoint, you're a really good player. Okay. Now, do you want to marry this dude and that be your franchise quarterback to the end of time? That's a different conversation. But to just start the convo of, is he a good, bad, really good? Where is he at? That's a really good player. To me, that's not we can't debate that part. But if we want to debate the quality of his performances, if we want to debate the consistency with him or his ball security, I think that's a different conversation. But I would also, preface it like this, man. When you're asked to do a lot, you're going to get exposed to more negativity. And with that, for younger guys especially, yeah, you're going to see some of those mess ups, those, shortcomings pop up. Hence the reason why the dude has, throughout his first 4 years in the NFL, you're looking at a dude that's passed for 69 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 46 interceptions. That's a lot of turnovers. It's also a lot of touchdowns. That's all within 4 years. And prior to last year, where he only played 10 games, up to that, it was 16 games, 17 games, 17 games. So you've seen him be available. You've seen this dude out there. It was just obviously this year where that wasn't the case. Now, part of that is him needing to understand when to get down. And that's a bigger conversation around the NFL, man, as a whole. But when you're just looking at, from the Steelers side, why would we be interested? Because this is different. The Steelers having interest in reaching out is different than the Jaguars saying they're ready to move on. Let's make sure we understand that. Both things could be true. The Steelers could be, hey, man, hey, what's up, bro? And the Jaguars could also be like, hey, bro, we're good. Both of those could be true. But in terms of just the focus on the Steelers, in terms of why they would be interested in a Trevor Lawrence, let's keep it going. The dude can throw the rock, man. You talk about what he's done in his first 4 seasons in the league. Let's see. First year he had, 3,600 passing yards, man. Second season, 4,100 passing yards. The season after that, 4,000 passing yards. And up until the 10 weeks, or he played 10 games, like I said, this past season prior to getting hurt, he had 2,000 passing yards. So you can see where the ability is there and the production is there from a passing standpoint. Now, touchdown interceptions, that's where it gets a little dicey at times. Early on, first year, man, was bad. 12 touchdowns, 17 picks as a rookie. You don't like that. People were comparing him to Peyton Manning because of that, right? But he was also coming into the NFL with Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Caleb Williams type expectations because of how dominant he was in college. Remember, this dude beat Bama as a freshman, baby. Yeah, he was cooking. He was it 20-something games on the road, man, was winning had everybody looking like Clemson was tough. He was like, bro, you got Dabo, a whole bunch of money behind you, man. But that was Trevor Lawrence, with the blonde hair, sunshine. But then from there, second season in the league, he turns it around. 25 touchdowns through the air, 8 picks. Third year, 21 touchdowns, 14 picks. Got back a little high. Then this past year, 11 touchdowns, 7 picks. So when we're talking about him specifically from a passing standpoint, yeah, I feel like that would be a huge upgrade throwing the football wise of what we've been, just putting out there these past couple of seasons, honestly. But the flip side is you do want him to dial back some of those turnovers. This, to me, was reminiscent of what was taking place at Buffalo with Josh Allen. You're scoring a ton of points, but you're turning the ball over a lot as well. And it's hard to live that way in this league, man, where turnovers matter a lot. Touchdowns matter a lot, but turning it over, it hurts you. It can sometimes kill you. So that's the part where when I look at how Justin Fields was able to kind of button it up while he came here, Russell Wilson also, I look at Trevor and I say, man, maybe that's a similar concept. Bringing him into a situation where he doesn't necessarily have to do everything. Yeah. Now you're talking about, I don't need you to be great for, the 100% of the game. I just need you to be great for 75% of the game. That's a lot different of an ask compared to what he's been asked to do in Jacksonville. Very similar to what he was asked to do in terms of Justin Fields being asked to do in Chicago. Now, the next part is this, man. In terms of the prototype of what you want at quarterback, Trevor Lawrence is that. Let's not play. Big, strong arm, has touch, can make every throw, has legs, can run. Yeah, that isn't the case. That isn't a debate. That's, like I said, partly why the Jags paid him what they paid him. Now, like I said, these are all reasons why for the Steelers, it would make a ton of sense to be interested in Trevor Lawrence. It makes a ton of sense for the Steelers, and emphasis on the Steelers. We're not talking about, are the Jags going to give him up or not? Because that's a different conversation. But for the Steelers, this is why they're interested in him. This is why, even though they are trying to figure out, do they want to keep Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, why Trevor Lawrence is intriguing. Me personally, I like the fact that they're leaving no stone unturned. Now, will this deal come to fruition? Would the Jaguars even entertain it? Who knows? And I think, depending on how you want to spin it, you can either make it to where they be really intrigued about it because, hey, new head coach, fired your GM, trying to start new. Maybe you want to move up and draft something like a Cam Ward or a Shedeur Sanders to go with Liam Coleman. That's who you want to roll with. If that's the case, sure. But you could also be saying, man, I just got my fresh new head coach. This dude was cooking with Baker Mayfield. He feels confident about Trevor Lawrence. We're not even answering this call. We're not even entertaining it. That could also be the case. So like I said, it really just depends on how you want to go about it. I can't confirm it, nor deny either one of those dudes' feelings on it. in terms of organizationally. So that's why we just looking at the factors of why we should. And at the same time, if you're Jacksonville, I could understand why they would, but I could also understand why they would not as well. But just if we're talking player for player, yeah, Trevor Lawrence, I'm taking him over Russell Wilson. Trevor Lawrence, I'm taking him over Justin Fields. If we're talking just player for player. But now, if we're adding the money into it, if you're adding what you got to give up via draft resources to go get that player, that changes a lot. Because like I said, he has a 5 for $275 million deal. When you get that type of contract, a lot of people here in the black and gold that have been here for a while, they don't get to stay here, man. They don't get to stay here. So with that, that's the part where, yeah, I don't want to just bring you in because contractually you're going to put a strain on the roster. Now, the next part is what I would have to give up to go get you. I think the report they were saying was a first and a second from this year. I'm like, all right, I don't care about that. I'm not, I don't care about them draft picks, especially if it's this year. I don't want to do future draft picks, but for this year, yeah, I'm like, man, I give a first, second. Third is where we cut it off. I can't give you more than that. But as a whole, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm getting a franchise caliber quarterback. I'm getting a guy that I've already seen produce. Got a Pro Bowl. He has a playoff win. Shoot, he got a more recent playoff win than any of us. So I think of that part. And that's where I'm like, yeah, so why shouldn't I like him again? Y'all just tell me why I shouldn't like him. And we'll open up the phone lines in a little bit. Trust me, we're going to talk about it. But that's the part for me where I'm just like, I don't see what I shouldn't like about him. I can understand why the Jaguars wouldn't want to do it, but I don't see why, as a Steeler fan, I should be like, y'all don't want to entertain it. I don't get that part. That's my only day, man. Like, I'm excited about Justin Fields. I'm excited about Russ. But to me, yeah, I just don't see where I think Trevor is up here in terms of what he was doing thus far. Like, that's just how I look at him, though, man. But at the same time, that's my opinion on it, man. And everybody has different opinions, man. But shoot, we know some people, man, would love Kenny Pickett. You know what I mean? Some people love Russ. Some people love Rodgers, man. Some people love Joe Milton and company as well, man. So everybody's going to have a different perspective on it. But like I said, that's definitely how I see it, man. But if we are being completely, if I'm being completely transparent about the initial feel of, do I think it's valid? Do I think this could actually come to fruition? If I had to put a percentage on it, I'd put 25% that it would work. Yeah. And the reason I say 25% is if Liam Cohen, for some reason, didn't want Trevor Lawrence as his quarterback in Jacksonville, I could see that being the reason, because if y'all follow that story, Liam Cohen wasn't going to take the Jags job because of the general manager that was currently there. He didn't want to work with that general manager. So that was why he was going back to Tampa. Shad Khan said, bro, I want this coach more than I want this GM. So he fired the GM because that was going to appease Liam Cohen. Then he made Liam Cohen the head coach and made him one of them beautiful offers he couldn't refuse. Right. And then the whole, was he lying about his kid in the hospital and all that other stuff that came on. Right. Yeah. So when I think of that, that's letting me know that Shad Khan feels really confident in Liam Cohen. He wants to give this dude every resource to be successful. So when Liam said he didn't like this GM, he did what? He got rid of that GM. So if Liam were to say, man, I'm not a fan of Trevor, I just don't see it all the way, I think I would rather draft, I want to just start new, then yeah, I can see a scenario where Shad would be like, all right, bro, I done got rid of the GM for you. I get rid of him too. We could do it. But that's why I said 25%. Because I'm like, if I'm Liam Cohen, why would I want to move on from a kid, man? I mean, for the draft element of it, sure. I think that you could talk yourself into it because you could get the hard reset contractually, and obviously you'll be able to have a lot more resources on your plate. But unless you're finding a trade partner that's actually going to take on that contract, you like, bro, we stuck. But like I said, if he's available, I would be interested, heavily interested in it, man. For the right price, I would be, because I think he is that talented and he's young. The same way we optimistic about Justin Fields because of his youth, Trevor Lawrence the exact same. So it's like, man, I don't see why I shouldn't like him. That's all, man. I just don't see why I shouldn't like him, baby. But we'll see, baby. We shall see with that one, man.